Hi, I'm Jenny, one of the plant doctors here at Moana Nursery, and today we're going to talk about Monsteras. Sir Joseph Paxton said that botany is the science of beauty, and I absolutely agree, especially when we're talking about these guys. The Monstera deliciosa is named for the fruit that she produces, not so much her curves. Apparently it's delicious, so that's where that comes from. The Swiss call them Adam's rib because of these beautiful fenestrations that we're always seeking after. They actually evolved for practical purposes for the plant. So in the jungle, when he's climbing the tree, all of the more mature top leaves will start splitting in order to give more sunlight and provide more rain to the lower portions of the plant. And it also will not get blown away like a sail. They can experience more wind so that it's not being dragged around and jostled because of these fenestrations. They're native to the rainforests in Central and South America, and when they're allowed to be feral and free, they do get about 70 to 80 feet tall. Like, they'll just keep on climbing. So keep that in mind. As a houseplant, they can grow fairly large fairly quickly. So you do want to have a plan. You want to have an intention for your Monsteras. You want to decide, do you want it to climb upwards? Because it will. Or if you're just going to allow it to kind of grow horizontally, be prepared, because it'll kind of just crab walk out of the pot and take up a whole lot of space if you have it that way. For support, you can use all sorts of different things. There's just the simple support stakes that you see in here. You can use a board. And my preference is a moss pole, because then you can utilize the aerial roots that the plant has on purpose to provide its own support. First thing you want to do is you want to find the front and the back of your plant. So the front would be where a majority of the leaves are facing. The back, you're going to look for this stem, and you can see the little aerial roots coming out in that direction. So that's the back of the plant. And when you position your moss pole, you're going to want to have that plant up like a back brace. So sometimes when you get a larger plant initially, they are not planted the best. So if you're taking them apart and doing a repotting, I would move them directionally so that all of the leaves are forward facing, and then you see those aerial roots in the back so that they can be braced on those moss poles or stakes or whatever you're going to use. They're fairly easy to care for health-wise. They grow really quickly. They need enough light. They like a good chunky type of soil. Emily does a great video on different soil mixtures that you can check out. I would, if you're just getting like a regular basic potting mix, I would add some perlite or possibly some orchid bark, just so you have that aeration and that chunkiness in there. You're gonna want to do your finger test. So you're going to check their diaper, so to speak, where you're digging down to at least your second knuckle. And this top portion can be dry. So they do want oxygen with their roots. But once that happens, then you can fully saturate the plant and then allow it to go through that process of drying out in between the waterings for that portion. And they do like a good amount of humidity, so a humidifier is beneficial. A lot of people, when you're using a moss pole, you're misting the pole or you're watering the pole, because these aerial roots they do serve a purpose. So they do reach out and go toward humidity and water, and they can also uptake nutrients. So Monstera parents have some decisions to make. A lot of people think that the aerial roots are unsightly, and you can prune them. It's not going to hurt the plant. I wouldn't prune them all at the same time. I would give it a little bit of time in between pruning them. Or you can re-pot them into the soil, like this guy has. His aerial root is now kind of going in a circle here. But they do uptake nutrients and humidity from the soil and provide some support that way. And then that third option is using your moss pole. And you can attach the aerial roots by like U-pins, or you can even use, if you're very careful, a paper clip open enough so that it's not squeezing the tissue. You also do want to keep them clean. So if they get dust on their leaves, which can happen, like once a week or every 2 weeks, you can use leaf shine. You can use just a basic damp towel or damp paper towel. They have little stomata, which are their breathing holes, and they want those to be kept clear for a healthy plant. So when you do that, you're gonna brace the back, kind of cradle the leaf, and just gently smooth that out so that they're all shiny and beautiful and happy guys for you. Some of the smaller, like this guy, is not going to have these massive, huge leaves that could possibly get 20 feet tall in your home. So they're a little bit easier to control. You can have them climb a wall, they can climb different surfaces, or just hang down. Fertilizing. We do have our Moana made fertilizer that is a low salt content. It has a good amount of nitrogen in it and sustainable oilseed extract, but that 10 there for the nitrogen is great for your big leafy plants. So if you can come on down and pick out your favorite one, whichever one just strikes your fancy, like this little Leonata, so cute. And you can pick our brain and we can figure out what's the best one, or several if you want to take them home if you're feeling like you need a whole family of them. We'd love to see you then.